Ayat 158 and 165. As well as the passage, and Allah is hearing and seeing. Surah An-Nisa, Ayah 134. Indeed, Allah, Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu said, indeed Allah affirms for himself with that, and he has named himself with that. And he does not impute or ascribe that to anyone else. But Allah, using the verb kana, is stating that he is azali, pre-eternal as well. So what Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu was saying is because the man was doubting, because before the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala it said kana, and the man understood from that word kana, he thought that maybe this was somehow saying that Allah was only forgiving and merciful once, or maybe only dominant and wise once. But Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu said, no, this word kana is referring to the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is pre-eternally forgiving and merciful, pre-eternally dominant and wise, and pre-eternally hearing and seeing. Finally, Ibn Abbas states this point. He says to the man, and this is beautiful advice for those of us who have children, is beautiful advice for those of us who have many people that come to them and ask them questions, young people as well as old. So when someone comes to you to ask you a question about Allah's faith, His revelation, His book, you should think about answering in the same intelligent manner. Listen to how Ibn Abbas states it. He says, remember what I have said to you, and you should know that whatever appears contradictory to you from the Qur'an, like what I have related to you, then indeed Allah did not abandon anything except of what He intended to be revealed. But people sometimes just don't know. So do not let yourself hold contradictions about the Qur'an, for indeed it is from Allah, the Mighty and the Majestic. So notice Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu, after proving the points and elucidating them and clarifying things for the man and showing that the contradictions were indeed not there, he then gives him a gentle reminder that he should write down and keep hold of what he has said. And also whatever appears contradictory to what has been related, then Allah did not abandon anything except that He gave the answer to that thing. And sometimes people just don't know. There's nothing wrong with not knowing sometimes. We have to say, I don't know. We have to sometimes say, that needs research. We have to sometimes say, that needs further insight. That needs further work. Sometimes we have to do that. We cannot be afraid to say that we don't know. It is the beginning of wisdom for someone, when they do not know, to state that they don't know, so that they can grow and learn and then impart that knowledge to others. Refusal to admit when someone is ignorant of a thing or unknowing is to block and close and bolt shut all the doors of learning made possible for any single believer. In closing, I would like to say that faith and our reasons for faith, it is not enough to assume that the enemies of Allah and His Messenger will automatically memorize the Qur'an and look at it and understand, well, this is what the Muslims believe and these are the reasons for it. We mustn't expect them to know why we believe what we believe. It is for us to understand and know why we believe what it is that we believe. It is up to us to fortify ourselves with faith. It is up to us to strengthen ourselves with faith. It is up to us to use our faith and to answer the command when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and proclaim the bounty of your Lord. That is a command. We have not been told, when you feel like it, Sunday afternoons after 3, Saturdays and Mondays. We have been told in an all-encompassing sense to proclaim the faith, no matter where we are. If we care about our workmates, if we care about people that we know that are not Muslims, or if we care about people that we know that are in astray cults, we need to call them out of there, if not every day, every other day, if not every other day, whenever we see them. It is our responsibility. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Those that have further questions may call after the show at 8411-800 or 8411-900. Those numbers again are 8411-800 or 8411-900. They can also look at our website that we have for this particular issue, which is htspub.com. Again, it is htspub.com. If someone would like to email us and ask us about the cults or about reasons for faith, they may email us at htspub@yahoo.co.uk. htspub@yahoo.co.uk. And our homepage is htspub.com. And with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is every victory and every help. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد. Alhamdulillah, I would like to welcome everyone to our session, our second session on hermeneutics, or what's called Usul ut-Tafsir. I think all of us understand the importance and the significance of understanding how the Qur'an as revelation is understood, how it is practiced, how it is used, and the danger and divine judgment that lies in misinterpreting revelation. It cannot be lost to any of us that we're going to be covering a lot of ground. And those of you that are here, and those of you that will be likewise coming later and filling the classroom, I believe are here because you recognize the grave matter and nature and seriousness of what we're doing. And what it is that we're doing is learning how the revelation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala works. Understanding it in its context, and then we will be taking apart some of the pitfalls that exist when we speak about revelation. We'll take apart some of the pitfalls that exist when people attempt to interpret revelation outside of its foundations. In our first, in the series on the principles of hermeneutics, we spoke about two passages regarding two types of ayat. Is there anyone that remembers those two specific types of ayat that we spoke about in the beginning? Muhkamat and mutashabihat. Those ones focused, the mutashabihat, of course, were those allegorical or ayat that had their actual form in terms of the language may have been known, but their form in regards to their reality, whether it be with regard to the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or with regard to unseen matters of the hereafter, was not known to the reciter or reader. The next were the muhkamat, those decisive passages that were clear. Now, the session that we're going to focus on today is dealing with ayats that are what are called haqiqah and majaz. The ayats that we're talking about are haqiqah and majaz. There needs to be a definition of these, and as usual, the definition has to come from orthodox sources, and we have to be clear on that. Inshallah, there's one coming. The haqiqah and majaz, in first defining haqiqah, this particular type of ayat have to do with a meaning that is present only on the surface, without recourse to any other meaning. This is the reality of that thing. Because haqiqah means just that, the surface reality of a thing. As we understand it, as far as we know, that is the only meaning of that thing. Al-Khatib al-Baghdadi, rahimahullah, he stated, haqiqah is the foundation, source, or root in the language. And its limit is any term employed without extension or transfer of the meaning. So we have a phrase. The phrase being lion. When we hear this lafz, this expression, the word lion, it brings certain mental thoughts, pictures to our mind of a creature, a predatory animal, usually living in the African Sahara, yellowish fur, bushy mane, four-footed, tail, ferocious, eats flesh. This is what's brought to mind of a haqiqah when we think about this. Imam Ibn Badran, rahimahullah, said, this is where the thing is named by its form. So this is the form of the affair, or the thing present, meaning its reality. So the haqiqah, when we're talking about passages that have to do with that, it is the actual form that is present. It's the form that we are dealing with, that actual form. So we first looked at that. Now we want to speak about passages that are majaz. Majaz. Passages that are majaz are figurative, indicating a meaning other than on the surface. This is usually a meaning or extension of a phrase or word in the Arabic for use in a wider, more figurative sense. Imam Khatib al-Baghdadi rahimahullah stated about the majaz. He said, the majaz is any term employed which can have an extended meaning to it. Majaz is in the Arabic language, and its customs for something is named as something else when it has a majaz for it, or it has a reason, and some of the speech has been deleted in order to facilitate abbreviation when the evidence remains clear. Mujahid said that Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu was named Al-Bahr, the ocean, due to the abundance of his knowledge. So if we think very carefully, when we think Bahr, Bahr to us in its reality has to do with a body of water, a liquid. That is its actual reality. But in a metaphorical or figurative sense, Bahr can refer to a human being that is vast in knowledge in Arabic, or to a fast horse. As the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ referred to a fast horse that he rode as a Bahr. So this shows that majaz, metaphor, can be for something that has a reality. It can be for something that has a reality. Imam Muwafiq al-Din, rahimahullah, who we are all familiar with, he stated majaz as an expression used in other than its original meaning in a sound manner or way. Metaphorical. It is unfortunate, but in our modern times, regarding reformist movements, modernist movements, movements that claim to be bringing back the glory and pomp and glitter and power of Islam, that when looking through the revelation, they take a surface view of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's words. And they say, no. Every single passage must be haqiqah. It must be literally and real as we understand it. There can't be any figurative phrases or expressions in the Qur'an. Because majaz, figurative expression, it's like lying. That's what they say. Figurative expressions like lying. So that's impossible. Can't be majaz in the Qur'an. Imam Muwafiq al-Din rahimahullah, he puts things in perspective regarding people that say this. He says about the passages that are metaphorical, he says, all of that is majaz. For it is the use of the term in other than its subjected meaning or place. Those that hinder and prevent from that are arrogant and stubborn. Those who were safer would say, I do not call it majaz. So they tend to dispute about the use of an expression, not the benefit of the use or the elucidation or meaning of it. What he's saying is that there are some people who they actually deny the meaning of majaz. They say, I don't believe that there's any majaz in the Qur'an. Imam Muwafiq al-Din says those people, they are stubborn and they're arrogant. But there are some people who they don't deny the meaning of majaz,